Arkansas, you've got two hot scorers, Jordan Howard and Derek Brooks, in our Buffalo Wild Wings starting lineups. But on the Michigan side, Muhammad Ali, Abdur-Rahman starting to drive more to the basket against UCLA.
You got to like those knifers, right? He's the kind of guy that can cut through the defense. And with his ability to drive to the basket, that's what opens up those driving lanes, but also opens up three-point shooting ability, which certainly the Wolverines have.
And the tip controlled by DJ Wilson, and we're underway with Michigan at the helm first, and Derek Walton Jr. Over 1,000 points now in his career, went over 1,000, not just solely in the UCLA game, but that's when he scored enough to get over that 1,000 mark in his career.
He needs to play offensively like he wants to get to. I mean, the more he can score, the more it's going to open up opportunities for teammates.
Abdur-Rahman with the three. That's up and down for Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, who's taken over 45% of his shots from behind the arc.
I don't mean to compare teams, especially in this conference, but something Tom Crean likes about his team is that they play positionless basketball. And this lineup for Michigan is turning into just that, where you have guys like Mo Wagner and DJ Wilson who really could play any position. They're going to create plays for their teammates in a 4 or 5 position spot.
There's John Beilein, 10th season as the head coach here in Michigan. His concern against UCLA was on the defensive end, and it wasn't necessarily defense in the post, but it was defense on the perimeter against the Bruins.
If you give up a honey bun or more, yeah, you're going to have concerns defensively. And the key is not getting extended too much. You get extended too much, it does what they want to do, which is open up driving lanes, leads to drive and kick, good open threes.
Rahman trying to drive, nothing there. Mo Wagner from the outside, can't get it to go, and the rebound tipped out of bounds by Central Arkansas.
The spacing's key on both ends, and I think both teams are going to be looking to get that.
Russ Pinnell, the head coach, in his 3rd season as the head man at Central Arkansas. He played there, still holds the all-time assist record at Central Arkansas, and he is basically building this program from ground zero, because when he got there, it was in a world of hurt, and he tore it right down to the core.
Yeah, it's not even like there's a foundation there. I mean, we talked to him at shoot-around, and he's really creating the foundation, and he likes the opportunity to do that, to create a foundation for this program that hopefully is there for years to come.
6 to shoot. Walton will launch, and Unruh may have gotten a little bit on that one as he contested that 3. Howard attacking. Unruh has struggled from the floor. Kamba trying to find some room inside. Wild shot. The defense from Derek Walton Jr. gets the rebound. Abdur-Rahman kicks out. Wilson, open look. A little strong. And the rebound tipped into the corner to Zach Urban.
It's interesting to watch teams play zone, and they struggle to rebound the basketball. Understanding that in zone, you don't have a specific man, so you've got to go find somebody to get a body. But if you move the ball well offensively, you're going to take defensive players out of position, should lead to offensive rebounding opportunities.
A lot of perimeter passing against this zone so far, John. Abdur-Rahman with the 3, grazes the front of the iron, and the rebound by Unruh.
I agree with you if you're saying that's a problem, because it certainly is. You've got to break down, particularly the zone, whether it be with the dribble drive or getting people inside of it with the pass.
Brooks with the contested free throw line jumper, and he gets it to fall. 16 points per game, and Russ Pinnell says when you watch him, you're going to see he's got an old man's game. That's a compliment, right? I'm looking at you.
Yeah. You know, look, we all get there someday. I mean, kind of the Roosevelt Jones at Butler. I mean, definitely old man game, but those guys seem to play at a different speed, and it's fine. They play slower, but the game almost seems a little easier for them.
Michigan 1 for 5 to start all shots from behind the arc. Back out, Walton, open look for 3. 1 for 6 now. First 2-point attempt is in for DJ Wilson.
The length of DJ Wilson, and he's crashing the offensive glass from 30 feet out. He's playing like a facilitator, a guy who's going to shoot that 3, but he's crashing the glass. No way to box that out. 5 games this year already with 7 or more rebounds. 3 games in double-figure boards this year. Good harassment by Michigan in the backcourt. Walton driving it inside, and Unruh with the foul. It's a good foul by Unruh. Unruh's a guy that Russ Pinnell talked about. He's a great shooter who's just not shooting it well. And it's amazing to see how mental it is. When you're a shooter, and if your mind's not in the right place, it's going to mess you up. Good job, as you said, just pestering the ball handler, and a good hard basketball foul.
Derek Walton Jr. to the line. Excellent free throw shooter, 91% on the year. broadcaster jinx as often gets thrown out by John Crispin.
That's why I just shut up and waiting to see what happened there.
Jeff Lowry and Albert Christensen off the bench for Central Arkansas.
We talked to John Beeline before the game, and he even said, yeah, we need Derek Walton to score the basketball more, look to score more. And I completely agree with this, partially because I always tried to argue this point as a player, but the more aggressive and assertive you are, the more you look to score, the more the defense keys on you, which opens up plays and opportunities for your teammates. And if Derek Walton wants to make his teammates better, he's got to be aggressive himself.
Campbell on the penetration, kicks to Howard, and an open look is good for Jordan Howard. He can flat out score 17 points per game on the year.
Yeah, that was good offensive execution. And it may not look like a set play, but as Russ Biddle said, we don't run set plays. We may run a set to get into our action, but ultimately it's the action in the offense that leads to open looks.
On the attack, Rahman got into some trouble. The skip out and the three, but strong, and the rebound pulled down by Derek Brooks.
Let's be honest about offense. If you think for 1 second a set play leads to a layup or a wide open shot, you're out of your mind. It's how an offense reacts. It's kind of getting into your rotations, your transitions, and the different options of the offense. Teams know each other way too well for a play to actually work.
Howard lost it off his foot, and that one saved in bounds by Howard. The drive and the dish. Campa's got to get the deep two up. That's an air ball caught by Wagner. Push ahead. And nice defense coming back by Matthew Campa.
That was just a second too late. Zach Irvin had him wide open earlier.
Timeout on the floor. Michigan with the 7-5 lead early here at Chrysler Center.
A little more inside out. That doesn't mean feed the post. It means get the ball inside, force the defense to collapse. Those are better threes to shoot.
1 for 1 from 2 and 1 for 7
in the middle,
from 3.
right?
Yeah. Somewhere in the middle of the three-point arc and in the two-point
No, I mean somewhere in between those two games.
That's Wagner inside, and that's what you were talking about. Get to the rim, get inside, and Wagner gets 2.
Seriously, should I not be coaching this game?
I think you just answered your question.
Every now and then I'm right.
Coaching this game.
Every now and then I'm right. But it's true. At some point, you have to take advantage of that mismatch. I mean, and there's going to be a lot of them.
Wagner picking up Lowry. Now Brooks trying to go to work. The step back for Brooks rolls out, and Wagner able to tip the rebound to himself.
Wagner's really impressed me. But just the way he plays, the understanding he has of this game, and I think he learned a lot last year. He showed signs of greatness, and then other times he just disappeared. But this year, a little more weight on his body. Seems to be assertive on the offensive end.
Abdur-Rahman with the 3, and he hits again. That's 2 threes tonight for Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman.
Russ Biddle even said, look, we're going to pack it in a little bit. Strong take to the basket, but going to be hard to get over that contest. But he said, look, we're going to pack it in a bit. If they beat us from 3, we're going to have to live with it.
Abdur-Rahman again. He's got the hot hand early with 9. An 8-0 Michigan run and a 15-5 lead for the Wolverines.
That's what happens when you make shots. You're going to get threes, particularly against the zone, and even more so when you drive against the zone. When you drive against the zone, you get yourselves good looks.
Kamba looking for Brooks. Brooks working against Urban. Curling inside, the little runner floats home.
That's an old man move. I mean, look, I wish I could disagree with you. But it was kind of the old man, little shoulder check, couple extra steps, float one up there.
What's nice about an old man's game is that you keep that with you for a long time. He's going to be killing people on courts for 30 years.
I'll tell you, man, you learn how to play with a chicken wing, you're going to beat up on a lot of folks.
Whistle inside and a foul down low. Abdur-Rahman finding the range early from outside.
But it's good ball movement. Look, if you move the ball like this and you step into shots, those are high percentage threes. I'd rather shoot that 3 than probably even have Walton go up for that layup. You give up a contested layup to get a wide open 3 any day of the week. I don't know, maybe some coaches don't like that, but John Beeline sure does.
Wilson, nice little spin move. Tried to get it to die, and he did. That's a home rim roll.
You know what? That's one of those ones where you say, oh, it died on the rim. You're right. It's not soft touch. That thing just literally died on the rim.
Nice backdoor cut and a good bounce pass to get it to Howard for 2.
There's 2 ways to defend that. Either you pressure the ball more, make that pass tougher to make with your length, or you don't allow him to go backdoor.
Jordan Howard, over 1,100 points in his career. He's got a chance tonight if he's got a big night to get into the top 10 all-time at Central Arkansas. Irvin on the attack, gets inside, and Irvin will go to the line. Michigan scored on 6 of their last 7 possessions, and they're doing it outside with Abdur-Rahman and inside with DJ Wilson.
You've got to capitalize, and yes, that thing literally died on the rim, but Michigan strong out of that first time out.
So, Mr. Harris.
Be glad you came along when you did. Air quality is up a lot more.
Quality's up, man.
Zach Irvin coming off that fine game at UCLA, and that was a really, you were talking about with John Beilein. I don't know that he necessarily agreed with you, and you said it was a very entertaining game to watch.
What kind of idiot am I?
He didn't share in your entertainment value from that game.
What kind of dumb thing is it to say to a coach, hey, that was a great game to watch?
That first half especially was high-level basketball.
Yeah, well, if one team goes 12 of 16 from 3, the other team goes 10 of 14. Yeah, that's going to be fun basketball to watch. But there are things to take from that game where you see the small spurts where Michigan gave up a couple spurts, 6 points right off the tip, or right off the start of the second half. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be tough to overcome, particularly on the road. And then defensively, if you let them shoot 70+% from the field, yeah, that's going to be tough to win.
Irvin with the 3. Michigan now 4 for 11 from behind the arc. And a 22-11 lead for the Wolverines.
And teaching basketball, you want kids to understand what we want to get out of our offense is to space the team out. So it opens up driving lanes, so we get good threes. We get layups at the basket if they don't help. So if we think about that on the other end, what we want to take away is gaps. We don't want to give up driving lanes yet. We don't want to overhelp. So you hope that the things that they're trying to do offensively, they can apply on the other side. And this right here, I mean, 3 guys go to the ball. It's a wide open 3. You don't want to overhelp, particularly at this level. Too many playmakers.
Zach Irvin's got the last 5 points for Michigan. Been scoring in spurts. Abdur-Rahman had a 6-0 spurt. Irvin a 5-0 spurt. And here's Irvin again. 10 on the shot clock for Abdur-Rahman. Nice touch into the corner to Duncan Robinson. Back out it goes to Walton for 3. And the long rebound goes out of bounds to Central Arkansas.
I mean, offensively, you understand that if you just put the ball on the floor and drive at one of the other defenders that's not covering you, you're going to get a teammate an open shot in this matchup zone. That's just, it's simply how it works. So I'd like to see Michigan be more aggressive and assertive earlier in the shot clock. I think they're going to get the defense chasing. They're going to find good shots early in the clock.
Howard on the bounce inside, and the reverse layup won't go for Otas Ayeka-Polar.
Spot on, man. I'm glad you have to say some of these names first, but you got that one right.
Robinson with the 3, and Duncan Robinson. He was red hot to start the year last year. 71 threes coming out of the gate, then cooled off a bit once conference play got
I'm going to be interested to see him play this year, particularly coming off the bench. It's a different mindset when you're coming off the bench. You're really more of a specialist and less of a go-to guy.
Neutral line jumper won't go for Brooks. To your point with Robinson, though, at least early returns on him coming off the bench have been good over the last 4 games, over 11 points a game. Seems a little more comfortable, and he's hit back-to-back threes.
But the problem is if he gets going too much, he's going to want more time. And as I said, more of a specialist, less of a go-to guy, but he comes out 2 straight threes right now. Michigan's rolling.
Now, Duncan Robinson has found the hot hand, as he is wont to do, John.
Yeah, look, if he's able to step into a shot, you forget he's 6'8", 6'9", shoots the ball above his head. He's not exactly shooting from his chest, so you have to get out, contest the level of the ball. That's going to be a problem. He can really get it going, and he changes the way you have to defend if he can shoot.
Ball knocked down and taken away, scooped up by Xavier Simpson, the freshman. Robinson left alone, and he can't get the roll. The shooters are supposed to get that roll.
Yeah, but it was a slight hesitation. He should have just stepped right into it and fired. 2 in a row. That's a heat check.
Brooks rolls that one off, and the rebound to Wilson. Michigan trying to get out and run a little bit. Another thing John Beilein told us, we want to get out in transition. We want to run a little bit in this game.
Especially if you have 4 guys on the floor that can get a rebound and push. I mean, there you see DJ Wilson gets a rebound, and the head is right up right away.
Nice save. Good effort by Wilson. Those long arms able to pull it in. 6 to shoot, trying to extend a 9-0 run, and it's taken away. And then a foul on Robinson got in the way of Matthew Kamba.
You know, it's just a bad possession offensively, not because of the idea of what they're trying to do, but because of the execution of passes. You got to throw better passes if you want to get guys shots. And there were about 3 or 4 just lazy passes there. Got to clean things up.
Tanner Schmidt on the floor for Central Arkansas, 6'8" sophomore from Buffalo, New York. Matthew Kamba. Jeff Lowry rotated around. Schmidt got free. Running out on him was Donnell, and a foul is going to be called.
You always see that when you commit to the shot block, yet you don't block the shot. It leaves you wide open for offensive rebounding opportunity. It always drives me nuts watching guards fly by every time a 3-point shot goes up. Well, you take yourself completely out of the play. It's not high school where you go run and cherry pick, get yourself a dunk.
Duncan Robinson with the foul, his second. And the first free throw no good for Tanner Schmidt. Coming up on the State Farm halftime report, Mike Hall and Sean Morris. I've heard of both of them. They'll join us from the Big Ten studios in Chicago and look around the Big Ten and college basketball coming up in our State Farm halftime report.
Mike Hall, first season at Sportslight. It's a good watch.
Oh, did he have a show this year?
It's funny, man.
No, it was a very good show.
It really is. Like, I know he's probably listening. I wouldn't give him this compliment in person because I don't want to see him smile back at me and go, I know. But he's a really talented guy, man.
He's about to tweet at you, I know.
Yeah, I hope not. I only look at positive tweets, by the way.
Schmidt can't connect on either free throw. He'd only missed 1 all year going to that trip at the line, but a couple of misses there, and the lead holds at 17 for Michigan.
And Coach Beilein even said before the game, look, we got to move the ball quickly. And there you see, as the ball moves, if it sticks right there, if it sticks too long, you're going to allow the defense to get set.
Walton able to pluck that one. The bounce ahead. Wilson with the jam, but a foul first.
What the length and versatility of Wilson, man. He's just on another level.
Timeout on the floor here at Chrysler Center. Michigan getting games, but it compares very favorably to where they were in their record-breaking 3-making year last year.
Yeah, look, it's a combination of system and personnel. They've got the personnel to shoot threes, and that's what the system does as well. And you have a coach who gives you a green light.
Xavier Simpson around that screen from Wagner. Now 10 on the shot clock. Back to Irvin. Blocked off on the baseline. Walton, a step through, the pass deflected into the hands of Wagner, who puts it in, and he'll go to the line.
You can see the playmaking ability around the perimeter, but again, I almost want to see it happen quicker. I feel like they could get into things quicker, really put a lot of pressure on the defense. Almost a good defensive play. I mean, good job collapsing defensively. Rarely do you say good defensive play that leads to an and one, but that time it was.
11-0 run as Wagner goes to the line to try to extend it by 1. And the rebound to Schmidt. Wagner came in over the last 4 games, John, almost 70% from the floor. He's really found his range of late. These guys just continue to settle into their roles right now.
Yes, if you have spacing offensively, big guys will benefit greatly because you're going to have to be concerned about the perimeter jump shot. So if Wagner runs the floor well, which he does, gets to a block, he's going to have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Crashing in is Wilson, and a foul is going to be called.
Michigan perfect from 2-point range tonight, 6 of 16 from behind the arc. But does it surprise you at all that 16 of the 20 shots they've taken have been from 3?
I mean, look, there's also taking what the defense gives you.
Right, they're in zone all night.
And they're going to be in zone, and if you're not going to get to the basket and really make it a point to get to the basket every single time, you got to get yourself a lot of threes.
Next foul on the Bears of Central Arkansas will send Michigan to the line for the 1-and-1. Here's Simpson, who hits the three. Just his second made three of his young career. And Michigan up 33-11. And the runner by Howard breaks the spell.
I like the answer. Central Arkansas coming down, looking to make something happen in transition. Spittle said that. Hey, we want to play fast. We want to get up and down, take advantage of opportunities in transition.
Snap that 14-0 run for Michigan as Wilson will drive inside, and a foul is going to be called. Wilson will work his way to the line. Good strong attack as Daraja Parnell commits the foul.
I'd almost like to see a drive to the block, jump stop on the block, because three defenders are converging at the block. They're really playing this pack line D, backing it in, not going to give them anything easy at the rim. But if you just jump stop, you might be able to see cutters. You'll see who's really open for the shot. But if you're going to the basket, jumping in the air to make something happen, you're going to miss opportunities.
Back on the floor now is Derek Brooks for Central Arkansas in Ibby Watson, the 6'5" freshman for Michigan.
Going to break earlier, I talked a little bit about DJ Wilson and his versatility. The fact that he can play 1 through 5. I mean, you see the length he truly plays above the rim. Some guys, you know, always say, oh, he plays above the rim. Well, no, he gets up there. He plays above the rim. He rebounds the basketball well, particularly when he's playing the guard spot. And these days, if you're a 4, you might as well be a guard.
You're not seeing him, at least early, as much at the 5 as you did early in his career at Michigan.
Yeah, it's role basketball. It's not position basketball. Said that, and we hear it a lot with Tom Crean in Indiana. It's positionless basketball. Well, that means it's more based on roles and filling the need more than anything else. And I like that. I might have had a longer career if that was the case.
Watson with his first third-team foul on Michigan. And Derek Brooks looking to trigger. Howard into trouble, and he turns it over. Nice anticipation by Xavier Simpson to get the steal. Bright future for this young man. And John Beilein looking for the game to slow down a little bit for the freshman, but he knows he's got a chance to be pretty good by the time his career was done.
Well, I think these next 3 games are going to be key. Get these guys ready for Big Ten play.
Watson got an open look at 3. Can't get that one to go. Schmidt the rebound.
I kind of joked before this game saying, oh, this is 2 weeks here before conference play. It's kind of the worst couple weeks of basketball, really across the nation. But for coaches and teams, it's the right opportunity to try to keep guys dialed in. Look, students start to leave, finals week, and as everybody takes off, it's an opportunity to get guys to really dial in, work on perfecting certain things, execution on both ends, improve your shooting, really study some film.
These guys in Michigan have a lot on their plate this week. Tomorrow's a study day, and then you can do finals on Thursday or Friday. In fact, the classes can schedule finals Thursday, Friday, and then there's finals next week for the folks at Michigan. That's a lot of fun.
Sounds awful.
Yes. There is not one time in my life where I say, you know, I really miss taking finals.
Man. You know, I always say in this game of broadcasting, I watch games, I talk to coaches, I go to practices, and I consider that going to class. I go to class so I don't have to cram for the test. I remember cramming for a lot of tests in college, and I don't miss that in the slightest.
Michigan in control with a 21-point lead. Eric Walton Jr. 7 on the shot clock. Walton again. And a foul's called on Tanner Schmidt. Schmidt with his first 8th team foul, 1-on-1 opportunity for Michigan.
One of the things that I'd like to see more of from Michigan is cutting and moving against a matchup zone. A matchup zone has similar principles to a switching man. You're really just holding your position. Yes, it's a zone by definition or by term, but it's really as much a switching man as anything else. You're trading off cutters. Sometimes you stay with them if no one's really back home. So the more you cut, it puts more pressure on the defense. It's what you do without the ball that's going to get opportunities.
Walton perfect At the line tonight, 4 for 4. All 4 of his points coming at the stripe. Jordan Howard trying to push it up the floor. Howard tonight with 7, Brooks with 6. They scored 13 of the 14 points for Central Arkansas. Not a surprise, the top 2 scorers. Christensen on the baseline. He traveled with it. And the native of Sweden, the 6th turnover tonight for Central Arkansas.
Well, it's almost as if Central Arkansas needs to shoot the ball quickly every single time. When they get down there and they push the ball in transition, even their secondary break, they usually get good looks. If they allow Michigan to set defensively, it really had a tough time in the half court.
Zach Irvin. Michigan with 15 on the shot clock. Walton takes the screen from Wagner. Now Abdur-Rahman with 9 on the shot clock. Here's Irvin. Walton, the attack, gets into traffic and throws it away. Campbell with the steal. Campbell's quickly up the floor. Tough pass to handle for Howard, and Howard trying to coax a call, gets the ball back and fires the 2.
I'm so happy they didn't blow the whistle. That is like one of my least favorite plays in the game of basketball, where you launch into somebody and go, "Wow, foul, right?" No, it's not a foul. If anything, it's offensive.
Did you ever try that?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I was going to say.
It's like, I can't do it anymore. What do you want me to say? We all grow up sometimes, Kevin.
We're all waiting as Irvin hits the 3. And Michigan with a 40-16 lead. Michigan continuing to launch from the outside. 8 of 19 as a team from 3-point land.
And it didn't start pretty well. They won a 7 to start the game.
Yep.
Every now and then I'm right with my numbers.
So they have found their range. 8 to shoot. Brooks gets inside. Can't get that one to roll down, and the rebound to Zach Irvin. 3rd rebound of the night. Walton in transition, fires and hits. That's a deep 2. They're going to mark that to look at to confirm, but right now 42-16.
Either way, who cares? That's a great shot, and that's what you want to see from Derek Walton. That's aggressive, it's assertive, and it's confident.
Contact inside. DJ Wilson got a hand on that ball, and now the push ahead to Abdur-Rahman, runs it to the rim. And Michigan in transition, rolling 44-16.
That's what you want to see. Rebound leads to a run out. Coach Beilein said we've got to run better. Too often, Derek Walton's coming back to get the ball after a rebound there. He's on his way out. Catching it on the fly leads to an easy layup.
Still perfect from 2-point range tonight as Howard is fouled at the free throw line. Timeout on the floor, and Michigan getting it done in a variety of ways from a variety of scores, but a lot of them from the outside. Zach Irvin, he's got 8 so far tonight. April Air on BTN and BTN to go. Of course, the big tip-off show at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Then you've got Michigan in action. You got the Butler, Indiana game, Dayton, Northwestern, BYU, and Illinois. He'll be in Chicago for this final 2.
I've got the double nightcap. By the time we're done those games, people are going to be so tired of hearing me. And if you're going to hashtag Sweatpants Saturday, you better be selective with your character use, because that takes up a lot of room right
It really does. Your tweet will be less informative.
Yeah. I struggle with the characters to begin with. As you know, I like to talk. So. That whole economy of words thing.
John Crispin is the big push to get the character limit expanded on Twitter. It's been his mission in life. Wagner will send it over to Irvin. Now, Michigan, one thing John Beilein wanted to stress with his team tonight also was closing of halves. He doesn't feel like they've done a very good job in the close of halves or the start of halves. And he's going to be anxious to see how his team closes here, and that's a travel and a turnover with 2:05 to go in the half.
You learn, and a lot of teams are going through this right now. You learn how to win, and the way to win is to play to win, not to play not to lose. That may not make sense to a lot of people, but I think to some, you get it. You can't close out a half lackadaisically and playing just to defend or to make them take tough shots. You got to play to win. You got to play to beat them by 50.
Central Arkansas 8 of 20 from the floor as Walton starts it up. Wagner the 3, and Wagner gets it to fall.
Say that's the aggressiveness you like. It's a quick shot. For a lot of coaches, they may not like that. They want to see some clock. Well, John Beilein does. He's fine with that shot.
1 for 7 to start from 3, 8 of 13 since. Central Arkansas trying to answer from outside. They can't get that one to go, but Brooks is there to clean it up, and he's got 8. Howard with 9, Brooks with 8, the 2 leading scorers for the Bears. But Michigan in control with a 27-point advantage. Walton launching, a little strong, Brooks the board. Howard, quick attack, nice flip to Christensen. Had the open look, but Wilson with the rebound off the miss.
I love when DJ Wilson gets a rebound and just pushes it.
Abdur-Rahman. Not going to get that 3 to go, and that's going out of bounds off Wagner. Our State Farm halftime report is coming up. Mike Hall, Sean Morris have a cavalcade of excitement for you in our State Farm halftime report.
That's not what it says on the read. You're crazy.
I'm improvising. And a turnover. That pass a little low. Howard trying to bounce it over to Christensen, and the pass flattened out on it.
It's an interesting time for teams in the Big Ten, because as you know, not a lot of high-profile games right now before Christmas, and then right after Christmas, we start Big Ten play. So it's an interesting time. You're gonna learn a little bit more about your team in the next couple of weeks. You want to see them, like Michigan, you say close out the half. That's really what makes you a winner. Can you stay, that attention to detail, stick-to-itiveness, and all those other things we say in sports? It's ultimately what makes you successful come conference play.
2.5-second differential between game and shot. Nice bounce in the slam from Mo Wagner. Derek Walton Jr. with the assist. Howard, quick attack, gets to the rim, can't get it to go. Halftime is here, and what a highlight to close the first half as Walton finds Wagner for the flush and a 29-point Michigan halftime lead.
And Michigan puts up 49 points. They started the game 1 of 7 from 3, but certainly picked it up. The more they get ball movement, man movement, dribble drive, they're going to shoot a high percentage.
Had 50 in the first half against UCLA, but they allowed 50 in that game. Here at halftime, 49-20, Michigan on top. After the break, back to our BTN studios, Mike Hall and Sean Morris have the State Farm.
And knock some shots down. It's going to open up opportunities at the basket. They have yet to miss a 2-point field goal because they're doing just that. They're getting good looks. And when you can space defense out, you have the size advantage. You got to take advantage of it.
Derek Walton Jr. with the beautiful dish to end the first half. Mo Wagner with the emphatic slam. Wagner, one of 6 Michigan players with 6 points or more in that first half.
That's good balance.
It's very good balance. And a dominant first half for Michigan, trying to improve to 8-3 on the year. And we've got a violation going the other way against Central Arkansas. Looked like Matthew Kamba inside.
Really looking to clean up that kind of play, particularly on screens. I've seen more illegal screens to start this season than probably in any other season, but that's something they want to clean up. Trust me, I know people set bad screens, and it certainly gives the offense an advantage, and the idea of officials is to create a fair playing field.
Gave a foul to Brooks. That is his first. Walton in the corner. Wilson with the 3 try, and the rebound to Derek Brooks.
I still think as an offense, you've got to be careful to not get too complacent. Yes, it's going to be easy to get that 3-point shot. You can get it anytime you want. See good feet inside. And an easy finish.
Well, remember, this is an emphasis for John Beilein, the end of the half and the start of the half.
I think you can't settle for the easy shot. The easy shot, I love the 3-ball, but that's the easy shot here. I want to see the defense work. Move the ball a little bit, attack the basket. Now you draw a double, move the ball around. That's a good look.
And Abdur-Rahman makes him pay for collapsing on the attack.
If a defense is going to stay at home, you've got to find a way to get inside of it. Either be with the pass or the dribble.
14 tonight for Abdur-Rahman. His high this year, 15 against Marquette.
It's funny that his high is only 15. He's a guy that can go out and get 30.
And the little baby hook inside for Wagner.
That was so Euro. No offense to Euros. Don't tweet at me.
Here they go.
But that was so, just poised and patient, good footwork, all that stuff.
Nice tip. Good work inside by Matthew Kamba.
It's all because the shot block, though. If you go for the shot block, 2 guys went to block the shot, you don't block the shot, leads to an offensive rebound. I almost like the contested layup. If you just contest a layup, you give up a contested layup and not overhelp, you're probably going to secure the rebound, because a contested layup is not an easy shot. As you see Wagner face up and just knock down a shot right over the top of the smaller defender.
About 13 for Wagner.
Are you with me on that? I mean, giving up a running contested layup, and we talked to Russ Pinto about this, that's a tough shot to make, but if you overhelp defensively, it gives up an easy tip jam or lay-in opportunity.
Right. And anytime you overhelp, you're going to end up with an opening for somebody somewhere on the court. And Wagner rolling into three. He's feeling it right now.
He's kind of a weird, awkward celebration, but he's certainly feeling it.
He's
got
3
baskets
16.
in a row.
7 straight for Wagner. Irvin on the drive, gets to the rim. The bucket and the foul on Derek Brooks. And I would say John Beilein is going to be pleased with the start to the second half.
Yeah, you gotta like the start. I mean, very first possession wasn't good, a little too easy of a three, but if you have a big guy like this trailing the play that can space the floor, that's going to be what pulls defenders away from the basket.
Well, Wagner, big Gene Simmons fan growing up in Germany.
Some guys are really good at it. Yogi Ferrell last year was terrific at the archer. I even tried to do it one day and shoot around, because, you know, I get my shots up too. I tried to do the archer, and I looked like Katniss more so than Yogi, you know what I mean?
Otas Ayake Polar.
Cool.
Otas Ayake Polar plays for Central Arkansas. We haven't seen much of him tonight on the floor, but his brother is in attendance today, was at shoot-around, and he beat you in a game of shoot-around.
I made 10 shots, he made 2, and was like, I won.
Well, it's like playing a golfer with a
What game you playing? Yeah. Would you have a 20 handicap and I'm scratch?
Probably.
I talk for a living, huh? Come on.
61-26 as Wilson kicks it out to Walton. That three rolls out no good. Irvin able to corral the rebound.
And look, teams like this, you can't play this game lightly, because you have to understand that it's not always going to come this easily.
Abdur Rahman. Wagner with the putback, and Wagner with 18 points and 6 rebounds.
Have they still not missed a 2-point basket?
They have still not missed a 2-point basket. 3 no good, and Wagner with the rebound, and a foul going on Albert Christensen.
I really like Wagner. I really do. I mean, talk about versatility with DJ Wilson. Well, your 4 and 5 are really interchangeable and versatile in many ways. Making threes, getting offensive rebounds, the stick backs, playing with a big body on the defensive end.
He came in 6th in the conference, John, in shooting percentage. He's 8 of 9 tonight, so that's certainly not going to be hurt by that. And 6 straight games now in double figures for Wagner.
Well, you look last year, the 2 guys highest in this conference, actually, I think they were tops in the country. It was Thomas Bryant. As you see Derek Walton knocking down a good 3 after a dribble drive, but Thomas Bryant, Max Bielfeldt, 2 guys who led the conference. I believe it was the country in field goal percentage, and that is really, I mean, let's call it what it is, a 3-point shooting team. Well, you're seeing the same thing here. You're going to get high percentage shots when you have teammates who are going to space the floor.
Wilson with the foul. Abdur Rahman, rather, with the foul, and a timeout on the floor. Mo Wagner feeling real good right now, and why shouldn't he? His team is up by 40 points.
Guy that can play inside. He got great footwork. I made the joke about a play being a Euro play. Well, I think that's a compliment more so than a criticism. Good patience, good footwork, balance, all those things. The poise in the post. I think he's really got a lot to his game, and the upside's there. He's going to continue to get better and better. I think I want to see him against good competition night in, night out in the Big Ten and see what he's able to become throughout the course of this season.
Howard with a deep 3. He's got 12. Breaks the spell. Michigan had started on a 17-6 spurt to start this second half, which has to please the Wolverine head coach John Beilein, who was really emphasizing when he chatted with us end of halves and start of halves as a big focal point tonight.
The only way you could be consistent is if you start and close out halves well. It's kind of why I like the idea of going to the quarter system. I really do. Not only for officiating, but with timeouts and flow of the game. I think it allows teams to almost reset themselves and really start. Well, we think of things as in 4-minute increments right now, where it's you got to win the timeout. Well, I think if you went to 10-minute quarters, I think coaches would have to strategize a little bit more, and the game would flow a little bit better.
Jeff Lowry with that 2 off the first miss from 2 for Michigan tonight a moment ago. Spell broken.
They blew it.
66-31. I think they're still confident, but no confirmation yet. Robinson with the 3.
Such a great-looking shot, isn't it?
He's got 9. He's 3 for 4 from three-point land.
I mean, you and I had a great angle standing right behind him. He gets seams, good follow-through, and gosh, when he's able to catch in stride, in rhythm, it's just such a pretty-looking shot. I mean, here it is, just stepping into it again. If you're 6'2", good luck contesting that. He shoots the ball high. He can get that shot off against anybody. It just looks so good.
Michigan 13 of 29, John, from 3. Their season high, 14 made threes.
I think they might get there tonight.
It's a bold limb you're going out on as Robinson tips that into the corner to Howard. Inside, the drive won't go. Donnell the rebound. And now Michigan to push. Wilson rotates to Abdur-Rahman. Robinson backs it out. Here's Robinson, wide open look for Robinson. It's good, and the 14th made 3 tonight for Michigan ties that season high. Step in 2 for Lowry is good. Lowry's hit the last 2 buckets for Central Arkansas. He's got 4.
At this point, if you're John Beilein, you want to tell your guys, do not look at the scoreboard. Don't look once. If you stop playing hard, I'm taking you out. You got to continue to teach these guys how to play with a sense of urgency, regardless of the score. That's what the great teams do. They blow teams out. If you should win by 40, go out and win by 50.
Robinson open again. Robinson short on that 3, and the rebound for Brooks. Numbers briefly for the Bears. Brooks with a 3. Donnell tipping the rebound to himself. And Michigan to push again. Walton on the lob, and it's just off the hands of DJ Wilson. Almost a highlight again as IAK Polar returns for the Bears. Daraja Parnell back in as well. Off the bench for Michigan, Xavier Simpson back on the floor. Zach Irvin out there as well.
It's amazing how similar Simpson and Derek Walton are. They really are. You don't lose much when Walton comes out of the game. And I mean no offense to Walton, but Xavier Simpson, he is that good. Strong body.
Not the scorer that Walton can be yet. Only about a point per game so far for Xavier Simpson.
But you say can be. Derek Walton just hasn't been that scorer yet this season. As I said, he's got to be more assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, particularly if he wants to help his teammates see him.
Pinned by DJ Wilson with 2 on the shot clock, got the block. Now the push to Robinson, open look for 3. Halfway down, and it pinballs back out. Rebound inside, and a foul as DJ Wilson will go to the line. So Wilson doing it on both ends of the floor for Michigan.
DJ Wilson, he's going to be a tough guy to keep off the glass, especially rebounding from the guard position. And what was I saying about not having shot block? Other than Bryant McIntosh, but these 2 guys are really getting it going, and they're going to have to score a lot of points, particularly with Aaron Falzone out.
Big loss for Northwestern.
Huge loss. It's a team that had depth this year, too, and I still think they have it. I don't want to say, oh, now it's not going to be the year. And I also don't want to be the guy that says, no, this is going to be the year. I'm so tired of that every single season.
So what you're saying is you don't want to take a stand one way or the other.
I'm just going to shut up about it. It'd be Switzerland.
Wilson good on the free throw. Already tonight, Michigan a season high 32 attempts from 3, a season high 16 assists, and they've tied their season high with 14 made threes, and we still have just under 12 minutes to go in this game.
Well, made threes and assists are a direct correlation. That's going to be that way anytime. Guys don't create their own three-point shots.
Nice drive by Ethan Lee. First 2 points tonight for Lee, who was the only guy left in the program once Russ Pinnell got there and started to build up the foundation.
What a challenge. It's just such a challenge where you're really building not just for the future of what you're going to coach, but for the future of future coaches. Giving them some solid ground to stand on when they come in, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 years down the road.
And a new season high for Michigan, 15 made three-pointers tonight. 4 Wolverines in double figures. And they're closing in on the all-time high. That's 17 they hit last year against Bryant. Stands up as the all-time high. And they've got a real good chance to break that one.
Yeah, with 10.5 left, I would say so.
Wilson trying to get there, at least halfway. Can't get that 3 to go. And the rebound kicked out to IAK Polar.
But that's a different shot. In film session, that's something you could teach these guys. Hey, look at the difference between catching, turning and facing the basket, and then shooting it without any rhythm versus catching on a kick out, stepping into your shot with rhythm and knocking it down. It's a big difference.
Timeout taken as Lowry got trapped along the baseline. 10:25 remaining in this one. 40-point lead for Michigan. Russ Pinnell's 1983-84 version of hair is fantastic.
That's a helmet. I mean, look, that qualifies. I mean, you could probably ride a Vespa with that thing.
I wish he would go back to that look. It's a good look.
Gotta find a way to differentiate yourself on the recruiting trail.
That would do it. That would definitely
do it. Kind of going with the Jackie Moon right there.
IAK Polar inside, and a foul is called. Working against Duncan Robinson.
Do I need to expand upon Jackie Moon?
No, you do not. I'm one of the few people who actually loved that movie.
I loved it. It was even better the second or third time I've watched it. Spumoni!
Luckily, we just had quick change at halftime and not a bear.
That was my safe word. Just again, I just want to
10-13 remaining in this one, and it is a 40-point game. Russ Pinnell knew what he was getting into. I mean, this is a team that has traveled the road this year. In fact, only 2 home games all first semester for Central Arkansas. They played at Wisconsin. They played at Butler. They played at Oklahoma State. Now, he's not going to be pleased with how this game has gone by any stretch of the imagination, but he knew coming in that if Michigan got hot, and they have from three-point land, it was going to be real tough for his squad.
And as a coach at this point, everybody wants to win, but you look at this non-conference schedule. I mean, Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, Butler, Michigan, Arizona State. Come on. Yeah, and a lot of people say, what, they're money games. Well, that's what you get. Well, you still want to be able to compete. And right now, what you're looking for is who's going to compete for them, who's going to continue to fight. You learn a lot about your team in these games, and it's a challenge for sure, because a lot of guys at the Division I level are used to winning in high school. This is not easy for these kids.
One to shoot for Urban, has to launch deep, and he rolls it in. It's been that kind of night for Michigan from behind the arc. 16 out of 35 from 3. My goodness, 80-40 Michigan. One more 3 to tie the program record set last year against Bryant. Donnell trying to take care of that, but that 3 off the mark. Widenar, Aaron Widenar, freshman out of Bozeman, Montana. 9 minutes remaining in this one as Lowry attacks with 13 to shoot. The ball kicked away and taken away by Michigan. Robinson starts it around the horn. Simpson now on the bounce. Robinson drives inside. The kick into the corner. Simpson's 3, not going to go. Donnell trying to swat it out of trouble, and it's saved for Central Arkansas. Widener's 3, and Donnell the rebound. Donnell, that's 3 boards. Michigan with 4 players in double figures. Wagner leading the way with 18. Robinson's 3 short. He knew that one was short. He's got 12, and it goes the other way.
I will say, you have to credit Central Arkansas for defending in transition. I look, you see the score, and there's not much you want to say positive about it, but they're getting back. They're not giving up anything easy in transition. And even in the half court, they're forcing Michigan to make 3-point shots.
The jumper on the baseline is short. Donnell the rebound.
If you're the Bears, if you're Russ Pinnold, you're looking for execution of the game plan. That's what you're looking for. It may not show up as a win. Your shooting percentage may not be high, but you want the team to actually execute what you're trying to accomplish.
Brooks gets the turnover. Brooks driving inside against Irvin, got into trouble and threw it away. And now 5 on 4 with Brooks still down on the other end. He's slow to get up on his way down the floor now. The 3 up and down for DJ Wilson. That ties the program record. 17 made threes for Michigan tonight.
It ties the program record, as you said, but John Beilein's not exactly happy with the last few possessions. It's just been a little too easy catching, stepping into threes, and they've got the size advantage, and they've got bigs that can knock down threes. They're going to be a tough cover. It's going to be a tough matchup for Big Ten foes.
Of everything that happened. The Big Show tonight after the game on BTN and BTN to go.
Big Show's fun. I like the Big Show. You kind of get into a few other things, big picture across the nation. A little more room to talk, too. Not like a quick halftime where you're trying to break something down and get out of it. Big Show, really get a chance to break some things down. I enjoy that show.
And I know any show that gives you more room to talk is one you're going to enjoy.
So you figured that out.
I learned that a long time ago. It's our first game together this year. It's not our first game together.
Just true.
And foul inside as Matthew Kamba will work his way to the line. John Teske, freshman off the bench.
You'd like to see that out of a timeout, too, for Russ Pinnold. I mean, moving the ball around the perimeter, feeding the post, and allowing the guy to make a play one-on-one. It may not work here against the Wolverines, but in their conference, they're going to have success. Let's explain this. You see the non-conference schedule for Central Arkansas. That's the reason why you'll see 16 and 16 teams in the NCAA tournament. Because they play a tough schedule, which sets them up well for conference play. And if you win your conference, that's the only way you get to the NCAA tournament. So you might as well get yourself ready.
Simpson. Nothing there. Jumps it into the corner. Lonergan trying to set a new program record from three-point land. A little strong off the bench for Sean Lonergan. On the attack, a quick 2 for Jordan Howard. So Howard put some points on the board. He's got 14. 7 more, and he'll be a top 10 all-time scorer, so he's going to get that in the history of Central Arkansas, I should say. Not a top 10 all-time scorer tonight. Ball knocked out of bounds by Jeff Lowry. Speaking of milestones, John Beilein, 323rd game as a head coach. He has the most games in Michigan basketball history with that one tonight.
If you are a major college coach, one of the things that I think a lot of coaches admit to is longevity is one of the most important things for program success. We talk about stability in the athletic department, which gives you the type of contract you need to be able to go out and recruit, tell your players that you're going to be there long term, but long-term stability is key. Longevity to me is as important as anything else. You're developing a program. There's kind of continuity year in, year out. The seniors teach the freshmen how to play and what's going to happen and what's expected. You just don't see a lot of programs thriving with coaches that are there 4 or 5 years and out.
Xavier Simpson, the no-look pass, and Teske is fouled. A little glimpse of what Simpson is going to be able to bring this Michigan team as his game continues to develop.
He's really good because he has his head up at all times. You know, Cassius Winston, I probably shouldn't bring up Michigan State and call it Michigan, but
I think that's a safe thing to
probably
use as a benchmark.
Add that to the list, but I think those two point guards do a great job of seeing teammates first. Cassius Winston and Simpson. I mean, really, they do a great job getting into the paint, head up, and the head is not just at the rim. They're not looking to score first, but the head's up, just probing.
Second Mr. Basketball from Ohio to play here. The first one worked out okay.
Trey Burke almost went to Penn State, too. I think a lot of people forget about that. He was really close to going to Penn State. Here he comes and brings him to a Final Four. And it's Xavier Simpson.
Yes, it is. Great basketball IQ. His dad, Quincy, was his high school coach. Lima Senior High School.
What do they say about coaches' kids?
They're smart.
Sure.
Figured I should answer that.
You do, I don't.
And a whistle on a travel. Brent Hibbets off the Michigan bench. Just the 6th game that Hibbets has seen action this year. John Beilein getting some guys some playing time who kill it in practice and work awfully hard to help make this team better, giving them a chance to get some game action here.
We look at the guys, maybe 1 through 8, who are going to play major minutes, but you have no idea how important 9 through 17 is. Some teams carry 4 walk-ons, some don't, but if you have walk-ons on this team, you have no idea, if you're outside of the program, how important those guys are. Walk-ons, managers, role players coming off the bench, those are the guys that push everybody in practice, and if you can't get pushed in practice, you're not going to be ready for a game.
Teskey's shot off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Derek Brooks. Inside, the shot short for Parnell. And the push and a foul by Daraja Parnell, a freshman out of Andover, Kansas. Not surprising to see Russ Pinhole find somebody in the state of Kansas. He grew up in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
You were all over Pittsburgh, Kansas.
I've been to Pittsburgh, Kansas. Fine little town.
I've never been to Pittsburgh, Kansas. I don't even know Pittsburgh, Kansas was a place until today.
Not spelled the same as Pittsburgh, PA, where I know you've been. It drops the H.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anything I can do to help you with your Atlas work, I'm happy to do. Watson bounces the 3, and that is a program record as Watson gives Michigan its 18th made three-pointer of the night, and they've also tied for the most attempts in program history with 42. Here's the most attempts, as Lonergan's attempt is number 43 on the night. So no Michigan team in any game in the history of the program has hit more or attempted more from 3.
And don't think for 1 second Big Ten teams are looking at this going, oh, we got to take that 3 away. Big Ten teams are going to defend them differently. Big Ten coaches understand this team well. See another one go.
First points for Brent Hibbets.
18.
I know the bench loves that, and it is 19.
For 44? Holy smokes.
Central Arkansas cannot answer. Simpson with the rebound. On the other end, Lonergan with the deuce. And a timeout called by Michigan. 2:53 remaining, and Michigan with a 91-48 lead. Basketball on BTN is brought to you by April Air, the #1 trusted brand in whole home air quality. Thank you, Mike Hall. If you're just joining us, you've missed quite a bit. A 91-48 lead for Michigan in our State Farm assist of the game.
A lot of them. Most of them actually led to a three-point basket, but this is what Derek Walton Jr. does very well. Drive and dump down, keeping his head up.
And Derek Walton Jr. with that assist. That was right at the end of the first half. Michigan has set a program record for three-pointers made in a single game. It was Ibby Watson who will be the answer to the trivia question years from now when you're asking who hit the three that gave Michigan the program record. It was Ibby Watson, whose first three in a Michigan uniform.
Years from now when you're asking that question. Dude, if I'm asking that question years from now, I need to find something better to do. Who was that again?
Why, it was Ibby Watson. That one won't go for Fred Wright Jones. Simpson in the corner. Brent Hibbets with his first points as a Wolverine earlier in this one with a three. Fred Wright Jones looking for points. That three from Watson will not go. And the rebound pulled down by Widenar. Widenar launching and hitting the three for Central Arkansas. Jones over to Brent Hibbets. A skip into the corner. Simpson on the drive. Xavier Simpson scoop not going to go. 1:45 to go. Simpson gets it back, and a foul is called underneath. Thatch Unruh was in the area, and Unruh gets the foul call.
Simpson trying to play the position game.
Jordan Grant checking in for the first time tonight. Just his third game of the year. Russ Pinnell with some words for Jordan Howard as he leaves. That junior will have some big games in conference for this team as they go on through the year.
That's a challenge, too, keeping your guys up. You can't let them get down after a game like this. He played a tough schedule. He's been a lot on the road heading into the holiday, and you want to get your team ready for conference play, which is not just execution, it's also confidence. You've got to keep your team's confidence high and understand that we're going to face a lot of competition that's going to seem a little different than Michigan.
On the cut to the rim, and the two for Ethan Lee. 5 points now for Lee tonight. 40-point lead for Michigan. They have led throughout this one in dominant fashion tonight. Hibbets feeds it to Teske. And Teske gets the fadeaway to go. His first two of the night. Mark Donnell and Fred Wright Jones, the only two Michigan players to not score in this one.
I don't think they're going to lose any sleep on that.
No, I think they'll be okay. Turns out Mike Hall was right. Looks like Michigan is going to win. He threw it back to us with the projected Michigan victory. And there's a foul as Simpson tried to work up the floor. Thatch Unruh with the contact.
Mike Hall gave us the projected. After all those compliments I gave Mike Hall, he's going to make that call.
Yes. Well, it's a bold call. He's got a lot on his mind. He's got programs to prepare for.
Oh, he's all done. His season's over.
His season's over?
His sports light's over. His first season finale was last week.
I think he does other things.
No, he doesn't do anything else.
Simpson good on the free throw. Subscribe now to BTN Plus. Gain access to hundreds of non-televised games, including men's basketball. Just some of the games that you'll see on BTN Plus right there on your screen. Monthly and annual passes are available, starting at $9.95. BTN Plus available on BTN to go.
A ton of research on BTN Plus. You watch a lot of games. I don't know if everybody has the same problem I have, though. I can watch basketball all day.
It's a ringing endorsement. Be like John Crispin. Get BTN Plus today. And the turnover for Central Arkansas is going to allow Michigan to run this one out. Dominant performance for the Michigan Wolverines. What you want to do when you come back home off of a loss to UCLA against a team that you are better than, and Michigan was able to take care of business tonight.
It's a tough challenge, too, because you want to approach each game with a sense of urgency, but as it becomes a blowout, you still want to improve in one area or another. And clearly they made shots, but I'd be interested to see what John Beilein wants to get from a game like this, what he wants to pull from a game like this, because everything seemed to just come too easily.
97-53. Michigan sets a program record for made three-pointers. They finished just one made three off tying the Big Ten record set by Northwestern in 2009. Dominant performance tonight for Michigan. 97-53, the final here in Ann Arbor. We'll step aside.